It is with great excitement that I get to introduce to you the gamified course template for Xperiencify. Now, gamified courses are the bread and butter of Xperiencify. So if you've been looking at any of the other templates, this one is actually going to be probably the least customization that you would do because most of our defaults are set to do exactly this. But we do have a couple of little fun surprises to show you. And with that said, let's kind of take a look around on the front side, which is what your student is going to see. Now, I'm going to go just really briefly into a little bit of Xperiencify methodology. We really do like to have a timer at the top that gives people a container with which to do something in the course. Now, that doesn't have to be tied to taking away access. It could, it might not. Different people have different feelings about how long they want to keep access there. But there could definitely be finish in 28 days, and you'll get the completion bonus, or finish in 28 days and that's when the live support ends. There's lots of different choices that you can make about the offer and how your offer reflects how long your content stays available. However, the important point here is that a little bit of a time container, maybe time pressure, does get people to prioritize themselves and their tasks in order to get the things that are important to them done. So that is why that's included. And this is set up for you to have a nice little welcome message and a video that you can welcome them to your course, tell them what it's all about. You can certainly put a mission accomplished date in here. We love mission accomplished, and that is something like we're going to do X thing, that's the activity, in Y time frame. So say that's 4 weeks to get Z result, because we always really want to be focused on the result. That's what the student came for. That's what they paid for. That's what they really want. So you've got that mission accomplished button. You can tie that to an email that says when they actually hit that mission accomplished button, you can trigger them a message that goes out to them and congratulates them, makes them another offer, gives them a bonus, whatever you want to do with that. So these are pre-actions, and the function of pre-actions is not just to have a couple of little things to get done for people. It's actually for them to get in the habit of seeing something and doing something and getting a result out of it. And the result here is that you get that nice little cha-ching and you get some points with it. So it really reinforces for the student that there was a thing and you did it. Now, some people like points and some people don't, but even the people who don't like points tend to like checking things off of lists and knowing that they're done. So these are some nice generic things you might use, or you can customize all of those. In our dashboards in the Xperiencify methodology, the dashboard shows the next available training. In order to show this training, they would need to have clicked off the actions from the day below it. So if you ever have someone saying, I'm not getting new content, where is it? It's probably because they didn't check off the previous day trainings, and you will want to make sure you give them instructions to do that. Just because sometimes people never see any of that, we put in a button that says go to all trainings. If they think they have no trainings, probably all of the trainings are here and some of them are not clicked off. And going down to the bottom, we do set this up with a link back to your website, terms and conditions, privacy policy. Those can all be modified to suit your needs. However, those are really great best practices to have some of those links there. You can use them or not as suits you. Now, this template comes with an all trainings page. It comes with an area for replays. So if you have live calls, you can just pop the replays in here. And it comes with a forum. So if you want to have your students interact, share their aha moments, get a little bit more buzz going and sense of community, because that can really engage certain people, the forum is the place for that. So that is what the front side looks like. And I want to make sure you understand We put some generic branding in here for you. You're going to change this all out to match your brand and your colors and your look and your vibe, or you're going to leave the defaults because you've got other things to work on. Whatever you want to do works for us. So let's go ahead and start up here through the steps. This is your admin side, your console over here. On the left-hand side, you've got all the places you could be. We're in courses. This is the gamified course. Basics, you're just, of course, going to come in and give it a name, make sure the URL looks good to you, put in your own image and course description. You're going to set the price. You can do installment prices. There's a lot of documentation on how to Xperiencify on all of these things. It's going to be really important to set up your payment processor before you go out and decide to share your course with other people. Taking money is going to be a super important part of all of that. And then course content. This is where you're going to add in your different trainings and lessons. And if we come in a day, this is what you will add for each day, the name, a blurb about it, some things that they can see on that training page that lets them know how they're going to benefit from watching your video training. Usually they are video lessons. You don't have to, but those are very engaging, of course. You have the ability to upload onto our video service, which is a wonderful benefit of Xperiencify. You do not need to pay for a separate service to host your video, as some other platforms might, not naming names. Or if you already have a video server that you like for instance, Vimeo or YouTube, you can just link those right here. Lots of flexibility that way. I have set the release timing to leave locked, and I'll tell you why. We want each module to release weekly, and we want it to release by tag. I'll show you that briefly when we get back on the other side, but it will make your life easier rather than having to set all of the different release timings and potentially set them all over again if you do another round of this course. So actions and points. We like to add 2 actions. So we want everybody to watch the training, of course, and then we want them to do the work. And in this area, this is a really great opportunity to explain the work very well and to make sure that you reward people for doing the work, because that's the most important thing, right? In this downloads area, that's where you can add different files like transcripts or worksheets that you might want to have available to the student. And those are all laid out for you on the single training page. And we'll take a peek at that too. Alrighty, so you're just going to go into each week, add your 5 days of content. If, for instance, you want 6 days or 7 days, you can just duplicate one of these and customize some of the text. If you want 3 or 4 days of content, you just come over here and delete those. But that has all been set up for you. Just go fill in some blanks, add your thumbnails, add your text, and you'll be ready to go. Okay, so let's take a look at this customizing the course pages. And this is where I mentioned that you can customize all of your brand, your colors, everything. So let's take a look at this content block where it says edit content. Pop into that column, and any of these elements here, you are able to change the text, add the video, add a thumbnail, add spacers, add buttons, connect the buttons, lots of different possibilities. It's not possibly all the way to endless, but you certainly have a lot of possibilities with what you can do there. And you can even change the font, the button size. There's so many different little settings that you can change on there. You can change the background color very easily. You can add an image in the background, all of that, no problem. And each of those sections has that edit content. If you wanted to edit the layout, you would come to a block like this, and you can, for instance, you can take out the button, or you can add an additional button, or you can make 2 videos. There's so many possibilities for it. And in the end result, you can end up with something that reflects your brand and has all the functionality that you need in it. So we already talked about those on the front side. So let's go back over to a single training page. What's that going to look like? So the training name, anything in these curly braces is considered a token, and it is going to pipe in a piece of information from somewhere else. In this case, whatever you said the training name was will be displayed right up here. Those different things that you added in the training section where you said the training description or your training notes, those will pipe in from that other section. This would be where your worksheets would show up. And these will be those 2 training actions that you have. Unless, of course, you want to have 1 training action or 3 training actions, you can customize all of that. It'll show the next training available. We want people to get excited. We want it to be kind of like Netflix style, where the next available training is showing and gets you excited about moving on to the next one. This has by default an area for comments. You can keep that, you can delete that, just depends on what you like. That's the single training page. Now, if we are to go over here to the order form, this one is kind of fun because if you have a website and sales pages, you probably don't need this. You can go to a really simple order form. But if you'd like to have Xperiencify do lots of things for you and to replace a lot of tools that you might be paying for separately, you can use the order form as a sales page. So we have set up the sections of a sales page for you, and you just kind of tell them, what's not working about what you're doing now. This is the solution, what you're going to do instead. Ta-da! Here's the course name. Here's some images of the course. You can make these pretty easily in Canva. This is what's included. You get this, 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 and this. Here's how it works. The different steps. These would each be week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You can talk about what's in those weeks. This is telling them about you, your instructor. And this is just a fun section to say this is for you if you're my kind of person. If you're not my kind of person, then you're not a good fit. It's okay. Don't buy my course, please. Thank you. So this is the traditional bit about the order form. If you don't want any of these other sections, you just go ahead and delete them. Leave your order form here, but do make sure that it has information about you. As soon as it's someone has been redirected from another website, you do want to make sure that this reminds them who you are and how you got here. This is a section for testimonials, and here is a section for FAQs. So that's all built in for you. Let's jump over here. Those are our course pages, and I encourage you to just have some fun with the page builder and get to know it. It has a little bit of a learning curve, but it gives you so much flexibility. And then here's the exciting part, some more bits that are all done for you. Now, one of the things that's wonderful about a gamified platform is that it can create all of these celebrations and experiences and fun things for you. And one of the hard things when you are a new course creator, learning the platform and creating your content all at the same time is, where are all these things and how do I set them up and how do they work and how do they all fit together? And so this template has done a lot of that for you. So there's a welcome celebration. I'll show you. So people get that sense of excitement. This is not your average course, right? We do fun things in this course, and you can certainly go in and open it up. With the celebration builder, you can change from a rocket to something else that suits your brand if needed. So there are lots of different celebrations built into this course. If you make sure that they are switched on, then they will be ready to go for your students. So there's a mission accomplished celebration. There is the opportunity to add a badge each week. If they earn the badge for doing the work that week, then they can get a celebration for that too. And let's talk about the experience engine. The experience engine is set up to respond to things that are happening in the course and to send emails, do all kinds of really cool stuff. So let me show you how this works. It's super important that every course starts with a great welcome email. In this case, you have the ability to text people as well. And the welcome email is just going to send them a nice little message. It's all set up for you. It's pre-written. You can add your content in there, which makes it super simple when you're worrying about creating your content at the same time. So that should be pretty easy to modify. Make sure it's switched on. And then you're going to add a tag to all of your students that says course starts tomorrow when you're at the day when the course starts tomorrow, because they could sign up for your program at any time and there wouldn't be like a defined interval till when the course starts. So that's why you're going to tag everybody when you're ready for them to start, and they are going to get emails that say the course starts tomorrow. Here's what's going on. You can just customize those emails. Here's a delay timer, and then they're going to get the week 1 email and also the text. And there's a check-in email. I'm sorry, this is going to unlock the module for you, so you don't have to go mess with all of those release times. And then they will have access to all of the content for that week. And then there's an email that is asking them how things are going, adding their magic link so they can just jump right back in if they forgot about it. And that's all set up for you. There's one of these for each of the 4 weeks. So you don't have to think a whole lot about how to communicate with your people, how to possibly even re-engage them. So, because those emails really remind them to get back in your course. So there's the week 2 set of emails, 3 and 4. There's also a nice little automation that says, hey, if we haven't heard from you, how's everything going? Because the system will notice that they have not logged in, and that will trigger this email to send from you, which some people can be super grateful for. They just got busy, weren't thinking about it, but they still want to get value out of the course. All right, so winding up, there are badges that they can receive for each week for having accomplished that week's mission. And finally, there is a course completion badge that they can get as well. So all of those things, I hope you can see that there's a lot of detail there that goes above and beyond creating your course content so that they have that gamified experience, so that they stay motivated and excited about it. And so much of it is done for you. It might be perhaps like 80% of the work that you would need to do to get everything ready is all set up for you. You can go in, tweak your copy, make sure things are turned on, rebrand everything on all the pages that you're using, possibly modify your navigation at the top, your footer at the bottom, but then you are ready to go. And as soon as you have Xperiencify on a paid plan, you can come down here to the section that says promote and get the word out, and you will have an order form that will send people to that sales page that you created. You go ahead and let them know that they can start signing up for your course with that link. They will get their welcome email, and then your content will start on the first day of your course, and all of that is set up for you. So I hope that makes it extremely easy and cuts out some of the overwhelm for creating your first course on Xperiencify. We're so excited to present this to you, and do email us and let us know how things are going.